Everybody like Brother Charles picking his finger, looking all into space, like this class is unworthy of him. There's more people in here than just Brother Walter. I'm not just addressing one person. I'm letting everybody know this is not the put down class. This is worthy of all of our attention. I won't talk to the brother. I'm talking to everybody. This is the class where you learn how to think as a logic. You learn how to think mathematically. And anybody that raised their hand and want to go into the other class, they're free to leave this class. Because you'll never get the foundation. We're not going backwards. We're so close to Chicago. It's very close.
I just want to encourage them to get the foundation.
Yes, sir. So I really want to address it. Yes, sir.
That right there, like just God said the correct stuff. It doesn't matter who you are. So you don't function that way. So that ain't good. I know Father's running this, so I'm just making sure what you just statement and what you just made, that don't go.
Anybody want to show him how what he just said is not mathematical besides me? Just raise your hand. I want you to do it. It ain't what you want. It ain't about what you want. Anybody, could you share with Brother Charles why his statement was wrong? Go ahead.
You were referring to you. You were referring to the whole time. You said my name was City. Right. Because you're thinking it's a thing. You said, like, I told you. That's all he said.
Okay, this is why it's not mathematical. He said he don't care if you go back there and sweep or Allah set this class up right. However, the purpose for this class, anybody know the idea behind this class since Brother Charles, look for the idea?
Develop our thinking.
All right, to develop our thinking. Anybody else? What type of thinking? Brother Jones?
Mathematical.
Mathematical thinking. Brother Jason?
Thinking like Allah.
They think like Allah. Now, we already know that Brother Charles did not think mathematics. Now, if Brother Charles go back in a class that's not covering the foundation, if somebody share with me how he's going to pick up the method to develop his mathematical thinking, because they're not going over it in this class. How's he going to get it? He won't. He won't. It's not on tape. So you show me mathematically, Brother Charles, how you going to pick this up? Oh, in other words, you're saying I don't mind not thinking mathematically. Allah said this class. You're not thinking math. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, I'm not going to waste a lot of time on that.
Y'all see what I mean? Y'all see what I mean? That's what hindered the class from going into motion that we was talking about. That right there.
How could I hinder the class and I've never been here? How in the world did I hinder any class and I've been here? A few weeks ago.
Turn the tape on. It's on? Oh, it's tape on. Oh, praise be to Allah. Will somebody share with Brother Charles how he is hindering the class right now? Brother Derek?
Yes, sir. I'm here, and I know that most of these brothers are here to learn mathematical thinking so that we have the foundation of how to think mathematically. Period. When an idea is brought in that's against us learning, that right there is a hindrance to the class. When we have to, any one of us, not just Brother Secretary James, and you directly from Secretary James, you told us him all of us do this. And he can speak from experience. I've been in the same situation where I'm defending myself, and it's against nothing but the truth. And it's a bad situation to be in, but I'm going to see you just like I am. What happens is you will fight the truth, and the truth is what's being presented to you. And I'm fighting. Yes, sir. You fight it every time. Yes, you fight it now. Does he fight it right now?
Yes, right.
Well, sir.
It's not just it's not just
Yes, sir.
because all of us have a symptom of this. That's why we here. It's not that it's sick. We just have we all get it.
Yes, sir. I'm praised to do to Allah.
And we want to see you get it. And everybody else get it. But we ain't gonna force you. I know we ain't gonna force it. You can't force somebody to take the truth. You gotta submit. That is the essence of it. You gotta turn it out.
You
gotta see it. I gotta see this. You also have to realize that it's not a secretary chat.
Right.
So don't look at the secretary or see the person.
Right.
My father says, you look at everyone as if they're Allah speaking to you. Then, as soon as you start getting the idea, the first thing you do is take the person out of it.
Yes, sir.
Allah, Father, whoever's speaking to you, whatever. And look for the right in the idea that's being expressed to you. As you say it, everything that's presented, what's the formula? 90% right and 10% wrong. Even the devil, what he says has to be 90% right, or he wouldn't be allowed to say it, because Allah still controls everything. So you have to take the person out of it and look for what you can get out of everything that's presented to you to better yourself and put yourself in a better life with Allah.
So I'm like, and the first law is you check yourself first. Whenever the truth is being presented to you, when you do not look at yourself first, you miss it. And you constantly looking back at another person, at the person that the truth is coming from, then you missed it. The first law is you check yourself first. So when the statement was made that you were hindering the class, the first thought that was supposed to come in your mind was, let me see, what did I just say? Or go over in your mind, is causing that. What did I do to cause that? If he said it, I'm looking for the right.
That which can be proved.
Right. So you had to check yourself. What did I do to just cause that? And then you go over in your own mind. Oh, I see how I did. I see how I'm hindering the class because the express purpose for mathematical thinking is so you could get away from another person telling you something, and you check your own self.
That's right, brother man.
Everything that we do is we're supposed to be here to try to learn the laws and principles of creation, to make everything that we do be totally in harmony with the laws and principles of creation, so that there'll be no friction being created by our own presence, our own motion, in anything that we do.
Yes, sir. Did y'all see Brother Charles Foster? Anybody explain it to Brother Charles, since everything is a manifestation of thought? What is he doing?
He's thinking, what are you thinking? And this is not, he's just trying to put me down, Lord. This is not something that I'm doing.
This not worthy of him.
Right.
This is what we're going to do. All right, that's enough on Brother Charles. That type of behavior continue to happen. I'll speak to the captain. The captain put Brother Charles wherever he wants to put him, but Brother Charles will be out of this class. It's simple as that. We ain't got time to be playing. Brother Charles is here voluntarily under his own power, under his own accord, and nobody asked him to be here. And if Brother Charles don't want to be in harmony with the class, hey, it's simple as that. So,
That's right.
somebody go get the captain.
Yes.
You want me to leave, bro?
Yes, sir. Brother Captain. Brother Charles is in the posture of as a reaction to what's taking place in the class, and the same the very reason why this class has been formed, that all of us will get our mathematical thinking and stop bringing the regular fruit class back to nothing. Brother Charles working himself in the posture of stopping this class and the motion of this class. So I wanted to, the brother shared this with Brother Charles. They showed Brother Charles how he's out of order. He seems to have a problem with this.
Well, Brother Charles, you really... One more class.
Say again, sir.
You go on more class.
Yes, sir.
Well, we ain't letting nothing stop this. That's right. So, simple as that. That's right. You do a lot. Everyone else in here, brother, sharing with you.
Can I have?
Brother Charles. Brother Walter. Right.
I want to pass.
Yes, sir.
Speak bluntly, but close this. How long you been in the class? Which class? The class. Just in general. Yeah. In this class. This class is. In my I think mine's in France.
Brother Charles has not just been here for a couple of classes, a couple of months. Brother Charles has been known about what we've been doing for years now. It's a point now, there's no excuse. We're not begging anyone to be with this, and we're not going to let anyone stop. Now, they're not going to hinder everyone else here learning because someone refused to submit or humble themselves to learn. So, the way that it is, Brother Charles, like I said, it really.
And Brother Walter, hold on, I want to finish answering Brother Walter's. Brother Walter, Brother Charles was here probably before, if I'm not mistaken, longer than anybody else here besides Brother Derek. He's been here with us in the development of this. He's been with us in the FOI class, and he's been not with us in FOI class because of his own behavior. So now that he's come back with us for this last, as he said, these last 2 or so months that he's come back with us, he's come back with us with the understanding that he is to submit. He is not to come in here with his own thinking, because this is the thinking of Allah. This is the class that Allah said, when you disrespect the least of his, you disrespect him. Allah sent specific people in this class to show Brother Charles and share with those that will want to learn how he thinks. It's not my opinion. It's not my belief. This is what is. Now, Brother Charles has been given the opportunity. How long should we suffer this? How long should the class? We've been here since, 7:30? And it's 8:08, and we haven't gotten that into one fraction of what we're supposed to get into.
That ain't because.
Now.
Hold on. You relieve, bro.
Well, yeah, that's okay. Not because of me. I ain't
Go ahead, Mr. Secretary.
Yes, sir.
That's it. Go with the class. He's relieved. I would like for you to continue the class so the brothers can get what they need. Brother Walter, if you have any other questions, you can entertain them after that. Okay.
First of all, we want to establish this, in man, this class don't have nothing to do with a person. It's all about ideas. Everything that you see is a manifestation of an idea. Oh. Now, in us, the idea behind this class is to learn how to think. That's the idea. Now, we all know what Satan is. Satan is a force that's against Allah, or what we call negative. When you leave a 7.5 million mile positive radius around the sun, you pick up negative. It's a force that's a reaction to the very essence of you, your idea. You're a mass of completed ideas. It's a reaction to the essence of you. So when you have an idea in your mind that you want to express that is of righteousness, another thought comes behind it and gives you something that's not mathematical for you to do, to bring your original idea back to nothing. Because negative is a force that brings everything back to the point in which it starts, which is nothing. So the idea behind this class is to learn how to think. And the first thing you got to do is look for the right. And then when you see the right, you have to submit to it. That's it. Now, when the right was presented to the brothers, he still refused to submit to it. We can't make you submit. That's the fundamental of this class. You will not learn until you learn submission. Submission is the key. You cannot come with a behavior or attitude of not learning. You cannot learn. When does the mercy start? Mercy is when you keep accepting wrong. That you see some good in it. We see the brother's righteous. Well, then he come with the wrong. How long are we to have mercy? When does the judgment come in? When judgment don't accept wrong. When does the judgment come in? When do you say that enough is enough?
The class is being hindered. Let's all come with an attitude of learning and a posture of learning. It's not one person in here that can raise their hand and share with me, tell me that Brother Charles had an attitude of learning or even a posture of submission. Not one. Not one person. It's not me that threw Brother Charles out the class. It's his lack of submission against the idea that's being expressed, which is how we gonna learn mathematical thinking regardless. It's not me. This is what I see. I see an idea being expressed. I see another man coming in here with a posture that you all are seeing in your subconscious, whether you realize it or not, that this isn't worthy of him. And everybody here can bear witness. You don't even have to be developed to agree of seeing mathematics to see that posture, that's the posture that he has. And you don't have to be no mathematician to see that he didn't come in here with an attitude of learning. If it's not right, what is it? It's wrong. And we ain't accepting no wrong. It's simple as that. Everybody came here with their own will. That's right. Their own will. We're here to learn how Allah thinks, which is mathematics. How he created the universe. We're to learn how what Allah does makes it a law. When he does a thing, it makes it a law. And we have to submit to this body of knowledge and intelligence in which Allah operates or how he does a thing. You can't break his law. If you do, I'm not going to say you can't break it, but when you do break it, you suffer the penalty of the law. You can't just disregard truth and say you're going to do what the heck you want to do, but Allah designed things to work in a certain way. If he say you have to maintain your teeth, you have to brush your teeth to keep the plaque off of it, you say to yourself, well, the hell with the way Allah designed this to work. I'm not going to do it. And see how long your teeth last. Right. Rebel against the law and see what happens. It ain't about no person. It's not about a person. It's about ideas. And that's what we're here to learn. Now, we're not going to do it like we did the first class. The first class, we learned how to talk to ourselves. This is good. We're going to go over, basically, this class, we're just going to go over, we got maybe 45 minutes left. We're going to go over the whole structure of how or what we learned in the first FOI class, meaning that class that's in there. We're going to learn how, when the Father came to us, how he taught us and what we learned. Then, once we get the basis of how everything that we're supposed to learn, then we're going to get into the mathematical thinking portion. But, let me switch that around. I'll share with you all this is what mathematical thinking is. Mathematical thinking is looking for the right. And when you see the right, you submit to it. That's all it is. It ain't no other formulas. It ain't no other methods. It is your ability to look for it, find them, and then submit to it. Looking for the right means looking for that which can be proven. So you have fact plus fact plus fact equal an absolute answer. You have 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 3. I don't give a damn what nobody says. It's an absolute answer. So when you show the brother fact plus fact number 1, brother, you're doing thus and so. Fact number 2, brother, you're doing thus and so. Fact number 3, brother, you're doing thus and so. All these facts equal an absolute answer that you are disrupting our class. So when we see the facts, we have to submit to it. We can't go against the facts and say, well, no, I want to do this. I'd rather for it to be done in another way. No, sir. The ones of us that came after 1970, you have been born not to follow a person. Allah has designed us specifically to not to submit to no person. We don't follow nobody. What we submit to is truth. And when we see truth, we go with that. But if we see a person that is the truth in harmony with it, and their authorities say that, when somebody express something to us, they got a post or whatever, or they got let's say I'm the commander, and I come in and I say, well, brother, thus and so and thus and so. And what the brother does, he don't submit to me because I'm a commander. He listens to what I say, listen for the truth in it, that which can be proven, and justify, well, yes, this is absolutely right. We don't follow no person. We don't follow no person. We don't follow Father. We don't follow him. You don't follow Allah. You follow people coming up to Allah, and then once they brought us to Allah, and now we got Allah, we with him. We ain't following Father. We need to think like Allah thinks. We need to think like Father thinks. That's mathematically.
It's simple as that. And when we see the truth, fact plus fact plus fact equals this, we do not be, well, I want it to be something other than this. The fact is that he disrupted our class. The fact is that he did not have a posture of submission. The fact is, this brother drawing out the class with his argument trying to make himself clear as far as what he doing. And that's against the law. Remember what I said about going against the law? You can't go against the law. And then the law kicks in. It automatically has a mechanism to take you out. So this brother, let's say, now this is how Allah designed this. He said you have to have submission. Number one, the messenger said that. The key is submission. And what do you submit to if it's not the truth? The key is submission. Now anybody that comes with a posture other than submission, hell, it ain't no use in keeping you with us. Because you'll never learn even the very basics of what's being shared because your mind ain't in a posture to receive it. You can't think you know. You can't think you know. You can't come with something already in your mind. We're learning something new. It's a new God whose number is 7. It's a new God. He don't have to think it as the same God or the first God, the original God. He got the same idea to make something new. Or to create something new. It's a new God. It's a new way of thinking, and nothing in the old way of thinking is going to be accepted in the new. And I'm saying the new thinking is you got to have mathematical thinking. We haven't had mathematical thinking up until now, not the way that Allah designed it. We've had portions of it. And then the ones that do have mathematical thinking in a balanced way or do it in a natural way, they can't justify it because they haven't been taught the laws and principles of creation to say this is why you should think this way.
That's right.
So they still are susceptible to going wrong. It's simple as that. It's simple as that. So this one in mathematical thinking is the method that you use to come up with an absolute answer. It's just a formula. The formula is looking for the right. And then when you see the right, submit to it. Fact plus fact equals an absolute answer. 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 3. That's right. Equals 3. As simple as that. And it can be proven. 1 plus 1 plus 1 can be proven to be 3. But you can't prove 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 4. It can't be proven. Right? You can't prove wrong. You can prove what's right and what's right to show you that what you're doing ain't right. Now, is what Allah self-created this, the messenger taught us in the beginning it was nothing. And what made it nothing? No, the messenger didn't teach us that. The messenger taught us that there was an atom. And this atom was rotating in this dark. And he said, Allah self-created himself in total truth. Let me develop it this way. Well, I don't want to get off of the class. I didn't want to get into this. I'll get into the next class we usually get into the meat, so not what's the understanding? Now, in the first, when we first met, matter of fact, we meet Father at first. We didn't meet Father. Father, hold on, let me develop this because in me sharing with you how we learned, I want to share with you all how we submitted to truth and how we submitted to the law, which made us the success or the FOI. Now, when Allah does something, it makes it a law. When He puts something into motion, Allah does. When He does it first, it makes it a law. Now, this means that we, in submission to Allah's will, we can't break the boundary in which Allah does a thing. We can't break it. The influence that Allah had in creating this universe, you can't break the laws in which He got or what He put into motion. Now, another way put or to show this is this way. in the story of creation itself. I just want to develop one idea so nobody won't lose. I'm developing one idea. I want to share with the fruit how when Allah does something, it makes it a law so that you can see the relevance or that you can see why it's absolutely necessary for you to submit to the law and why it's absolutely necessary for you to understand creation. Brother Charles, don't know creation. And how the messenger did teach us creation. It's absolutely necessary. You cannot make it. If you're the God, what are you mastering? If God means possessor or force and power, what are you mastering, God? If it's not the laws and principles in which Allah put into motion, that this planet and universe can serve us. That's what we master. We master this creation, these laws and principles that Allah put into motion. And then it serves us because we have mastered it. Master Farah Muhammad. Now, when Allah does something, it makes it a law. It's the same principle when he self-created himself. In the beginning, it was nothing. And what made it nothing, it had no direction, no purpose. We're going to get into that in another class. And the messenger said it was total triple darkness. Total triple darkness is the absence of spiritual, mental, and physical. The messenger never taught that. He told us what it was. It was total triple darkness. But he never told us, he told us what it, but he didn't tell us the essence of it. Is that right, Brother Walter?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Body, mind, and spirit.
Now, total triple darkness is the absence of spiritual, mental, and physical. Spiritual is thought. It's the unseen. Everything that you see bears witness to thought. This was once an idea in a man's mind first. Then he gathered the intelligence of how he was going to produce it. He said, the idea was, or the thought, the unseen. The idea is, I am going to make something that I can transcribe my thoughts onto something physical. And I'll call it a pen. Then he went into the mental. Mental. That was the thought, the spiritual, the unseen. Then he went into the mental. Now, how am I going to do that? How am I going to make this pen? Remember, thought is energy directed. It gives direction and purpose to everything that you see. That's the spiritual thought. When Allah gathered the 10,000 fractions into nothing, these were thoughts. Then he gathered these thoughts of these unseen. You can't see thought. You can't smoke it. You can't drink it. The most powerful force in the universe. Energy direction. It gives direction and purpose. So Allah self-created himself in total triple darkness, the absence of spiritual, the unseen, mental, the gathering of intelligence, and physical, that bears witness to the thought. Now, so I have the idea, spiritual. I'm going to make a pen. That's the thought. It gives me direction. I can have a direction. It directs me in what I'm going to do. Then I go into the mental, which is the gathering of intelligence. Now, how am I going to do this? Okay, now I need plastic. I need this. I need metal. I need a method to do this. I need a method to put a little ball in the top. Okay, now. And then, after you get it, the mental, and you submit to what you have gathered in your mind, and then you put it in motion, it produces the physical. Before Allah, this process did not exist. Allah in His fullness is spiritual, mental, and physical. So as He self-created Himself in the unseen, it had to be something in the physical that bared witness to Him. In the unseen, what was in the unseen? Which was that first atom that was rotating in space, that the messenger called a brain. We're going to get into that later. You can't find this taught nowhere other than this FOI class. Don't nobody have the formula to actually supersede the messenger's teaching. Nobody. Nobody has the power and authority to break the boundary of the messenger's teaching except Allah Himself. He said, after me comes God Himself. And if I'm not mistaken, he said he'll teach you Islam. Is that right, Brother Ted?
Yes, sir.
Islam is mathematics, and mathematics is Islam. And we learn in mathematical thinking. And what is the essence of everything? It is not thought. To give direction and purpose to what you see. If somebody can show me how you can produce one thing in the physical without a thought, some kind of math. So since Allah self-created himself that way, spiritually, mentally, and physically, we have to do the same thing. That's why we can't think no other way. You can't think no other way. The one produce a thought. The thought gathers the 10,000 fractions to produce the one. If you say, I want to be a secretary, then that's the thought. I'm going to be a secretary. Then you got to gather the 10,000 fractions so you can be independent from another secretary. You got to gather the intelligence to be independent from zero, from being a nigger, a nothing, a neutral, from being nothing. You got to produce enough to be one, independent. Is it one stamp independent?
Yes, sir.
So when Allah gathered the 10,000 fractions into nothing, it's the same thing as saying, well, this brother, he go to class, I go to class. You know, it's 10,000 classes. We take mathematics because we need that in the secretary department. We take, computers because we need a computer right now to do this. You know, we take all them classes, but we don't take the class on how to be factual. We still can't be independent from another man. I say, now, how do you come up with this? Well, how do you do this and so? But once we get that 10,000 class, we can be independent from another person, another source. We can't be independent from truth. Only Allah is independent. But since he self-created himself that way, you got to do the same thing. You got to gather all the intelligence to be independent from another source, to be one. Because he did it. That's why it's important that you know creation. How do you know and you can justify that you have to gather all the fractions? The way you think, how can you justify, well, man, first I have a thought. Okay, then I do. You don't know what the hell to do. Because you don't know how Allah did it. That's why we can't do nothing. We can't be successful in business. We can't be successful. We can't be successful because we don't know how Allah operates. Triple being that way for so long and produce a want. The want produced the condition that allowed for a thought to manifest itself. The thought began to gather the 10,000 fractions into nothing to produce the want. If you take beneficent off of Allah, all in all, he's still a fraction. He's not Allah. If you take merciful off of Allah, he's not Allah. You take destroyer off of Allah, he's not Allah. You got to have all his attributes, all his thoughts. These are thoughts. And these particular names of these attributes just bear witness to this thought. When you think of the word destroyer, you have a whole myriad of ideas that come in your mind. They tell you what the word is referring to or suggesting. It's thought. But all these thoughts have a physical expression that we can see and bear witness that Allah is it. That unseen Allah. So when he separated himself in the unseen, he had to have something to bear witness. And that was the atom, which is the atom that's rotating in space. And this darkness. We can get into that too, we are, matter of fact. That's why it's important that we learn creation. So when you learn creation, it's how Allah does a thing. It's how he self-created himself. It's how he thinks. He thinks mathematically, and how he did it made it a law. So since it made it a law, you got to think the same way. You can't think no other way. And if you do, you're thinking wrong. Unless you go into your own universe and you're going to produce your own universe. The universe is the sphere of Allah's thinking. It's the sphere of his direction and purpose. Once you go outside of the sphere of Allah, you go right back into total triple darkness. You go back into ignorance. Everything Allah either does it or permits it to be done. Period. It's a force that's directing the bird. Even for this to be stable, it has to be a force that's keeping it just keeping it together. These are atoms that are in motion. Even this building, this floor, this briefcase, this very pen is in motion. Is that my brother Ernest? Yes, sir.
Say,
Hey, when you say universe, do that cover all the Milky Way and galaxies also?
Yes, sir.
Covers everything that
Yes, sir.
floats.
Yes, sir. Milky Way is in the universe. The galaxy is in the universe. The solar system, we got a solar system. We in a galaxy. It's in the certain, whatever, the Milky Way. Right. They're all comprised of the universe. Mark says 76 foot in mile. In that air. And then once you leave the universe and go through one of those black holes, you go right back into total triple darkness. It's simple as that. So the Negro, let me show you how the black man is in harmony with the laws and principles of creation. Or not that we're in harmony with it, but however, well, we can say in harmony with it. The law is in the beginning there was nothing, and what made it nothing, it had no direction and purpose. That's what we are, the Negro, the neutral, the nothing. No direction, no purpose. Nothing to bear witness that we have a thought. No farmland, no factories, no schools, no universities. We submit to another man's idea which has been dominant over the planet for the last 6,000 years. Even when you want to be a businessman, you say, well, I'm gonna be independent. You ain't independent from this Caucasian because you go to his office as if, now how can I run my business? How can I set it up? How can I do this? How can I pay my taxes to you? How can I operate in your thinking? The slave master. So we're Negroes, nothings, neutrals, see? After being that way for so long, it produced a want. Man, I want to do something. I got to do something. A want for a change, the messenger taught us. I got to do something. The want produced a thought. Hey, we need a law to bring us out of this hell. Because we can't solve this. The thought began to gather the 10,000 fractions. Then produced the one, the nation. It's simple as that. It's simple as that. But we couldn't have did it no other way. And there's also another law. The messenger taught us that this 6,000-year misery is going out of existence, and it started in 1914, or ended in 1914. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
1914. So it ended in 1914. That means the law is, anything that makes a motion, something has to take its place. When I move my hand, the atoms in the air, the matter takes its place. I move it from this point, matter takes its place. It's a law. So when this Caucasian makes his way out or down, something has to take its place and come up. Listen, I was reading that in Our Savior Has Arrived today. It's a law. So then we know that this man is going out, this idea. And what causes ideas to go out of existence? It's a force that's a reaction to a law called negative. When Allah made a motion, there was a force that came with the law in creation called negative. The force was a reaction to the positive. And it always brought Allah back to the point at which it started, which produced cycles or time. So with ideas, when we have an idea, remember now, we're supposed to be looking at the idea now. We have a thought. I'll make bell bottoms, dashiki. We'll wear afros this year. With big picks with black fists on the back of them. So then the idea come up in the late 60s and the 70s. The idea reaches its apex. And then this force called negative, which is a reaction to the idea, brings the idea back to the point at which it started. Then the idea gains momentum again and we see it back in the 90s. Same idea, just up to date to modern time. But what caused this idea? Why couldn't this idea reach its zenith, reach its apex, change into a new expression or a better expression and just keep progressing forever? A large straight forever, he never goes back. It's this force that came with the line creation that's a reaction to his motion that caused him to come back to the point in which he started. To bear witness now. Everything is in the unseen, right?
yes, sir.
Everything goes into the mental and then come into the physical, right? Now, if Allah, to bear witness that there's a force with us, we had a black germ, an original germ, and we had a brown germ, which is a weaker germ. What produced the brown germ? Why wasn't it original? It is the negative, the reaction to the positive. So we grafted this brown, weaker germ from us to see what the hell is this in us, to see what it'll do, the extent to what it would go to, and be justified in destroying it forever. It ain't gonna be no more wrong. The scriptures say no more sickness, no more death. What causes death? What causes sickness if it's not negative? All these former things are passed away. The missionary said it like this. You was gonna go back to the age of 16 and remain there. How you gonna do it with negative? It's forced to keep bringing you back to the point in which you started. So that means a president has been set. That one that must be negative free, must come and rid this creation of this force called negative. In the scriptures, it's talked about as the war of Armageddon. Now I ask the question again. Anybody think that they shouldn't be here? They're not going over this in the other class. This is the foundation. You got to know this. You got to know the laws of Allah, the laws and principles of creation. You got to know it. And it's real simple. It's very, very simple. It's the simple things. Now, I did all that to share with the fruit. Just one principle. And that principle is that law is that what Allah does makes it a law. You can't break it. He made the atom in total triple darkness. You got to project your atom in total triple darkness. It goes right back into total triple darkness in your wife. It merges with a dormant atom that's there, and then it starts to rotate. Is that right? And the reason it does that is because Allah did it in the beginning. You can't break that. That's all I wanted to say. You can't break it. So now we know the importance of knowing Allah's law. It ain't no ifs. It ain't no maybes, and it ain't no hows. It's absolute. You see? Allah has a definite way that He thinks. It ain't no guesses. All we do is point to the law. If the law say, look, brother, you're making yourself clear. If that's the law, damn it, that's the law. And if you go against the law, you got to suffer the penalty of the law. The law is submission. You got to submit to the law in which Allah does a thing. If you don't, you suffer the penalty of it. If that's the law, damn it, you got to come in the FOI class with submission. It can't be no other way. If it is, if I tolerate it, it's going against the law. And we're here to learn the laws and principles of creation. How we can justify our very existence, the very atoms that we're going to be breathing. When this fucking destruction come down. When this United States gets split in 3 sections, 20 miles wide and a mile deep. You got to know how to think mathematically. So when Satan come and whisper in your ear, hey man, go this way, you go the right way. I can't justify that, Mr. Satan. I'm going this way because the fact is thus and so, thus and so, and thus and so. You taught me from my birth to accept wrong with right. Yes, sir. This is the day of justice. I'm not accepting no wrong. I got it. I'm not accepting no wrong. Not me. Allah ain't accepting no wrong because He's destroying negative. And this is the class where you learn how to put the negative in check within yourself. Satan. Ton means place. In your place and got something to say. Somebody say, brother thus and so, brother Charles, you're out of order. And then Satan speak to brother Charles. Instead of looking for the right. Now this brother just said I'm out of order. Now what did I do to cause that? How am I actually doing that? Let me look for that which can be proven and to prove what this brother's saying is right. Yes, I am disrupting the class. Yes, I'm not submitting. Yes, Brother James, you're absolutely right. I was doing that, brother. And brother, I'm so glad that you're my brother for bringing that to my attention. I don't see your person. I see you as brother shopping brother like the messenger taught us. I see you don't accept no wrong in that FOI class. I see rules in this class. Islam is mathematics, and mathematics is Islam. And Allah got a definite way that He thinks. And His thinking ain't crazy and guys as I was just submitting to the class. and trying to force my own ideas on the class. You can see that a lot of them think that way. Thank you, FOI class. Thank you, Father, for forming an FOI class to show me how to get rid of the negative within myself. So when the negative comes to me from other people, I can put it in check. Because I have mastered myself. I'm God of the universe. And since I mastered this universe, I can master what's outside of me. Because everything that's within me is within this universe. All praise is due to Allah. It's simple as that. You're in our proper place.
Yes, sir.
We're in the place that Allah designed for us to think. That's right. And He designed it to be mathematical. So, what Allah does makes it a law. He got definite laws and principles of creation. Now, when Father came to us, first of all, He followed His own law. When Allah comes to you, He always appears as nothing. Just like a baby coming to the world. The baby appears as nothing, so much so, but it got the full potential of a man within it, or a woman. When you see it, but it comes as nothing. Because the law is, remember, Allah did it, so it made it a law. The law is, in the beginning, it was nothing. And what made it nothing, it had no direction, no purpose. So zero was first, right? So you come as nothing, right? Is that right? Yes, sir. All right. Now, so when Father came to us, He came like a regular brother. He got in contact with Brother Derek. Maybe one class we can go over that scenario, how he got in contact with Brother Derek. He taught Brother Derek quite extensively for some time, preparing another atom, to get the other atoms rotating in space. What's the law? The law is always one, independent, zero, then one. And then from that comes 2 and 3. So Allah always deal with one. So Allah came and got the one. Got the one rotating, which is Brother Derek. Got his atoms busting. And then send him out, kick them out, and say, go tell them. Don't teach them. You don't have to teach them about me. Just tell them the truth. And the ones that got the ability to receive truth, they will come. The ones that are genetically coded, that promise me from the Son that they will be with you in this thing with me and help me usher this in. That's the ones I want you to get. Go out there and just speak truth. And let's see who comes. Allah and the person of Master Prophet Muhammad did it. He came over here looking for one, the messenger. He came speaking truth. He had 25,000 that received their X before he even met the messenger. Is that right? Yes. He was still looking for one. He got the one rotating. And then one got the mix. He don't never break his law. When I start rotating on things like that, you can see how Father's God. I can see how he bears these laws and principles, bear witness that this is the man that he owns. Yes, sir. I can see it. So then he got Brother Derek. Brother Derek got us together. We was in these, going through class, talking thus and so, and all different range of issues and everything. Then there's nobody. He starts to be introduced on the stage. I didn't see him back then. Allah forgive me that I call him a nothing or nobody. You're looking at the principle, right? Yeah. Right, just the principle. So then Allah himself comes as nothing. Brother, what you call it, Brother Royal? So Brother Royal comes and talks. You don't let the people know who he is. Just truth. Speak truth. He comes as nothing. Speaking truth. They say that Allah, in the person of Master Prophet Muhammad, was a silk peddler. Went door to door. Had meetings in different people's houses. Appears as nothing. He didn't come on no thunderbolts. We ain't looking for Jesus to come out the sky with no thunderbolts, with no halo, coming on the mother plane, on the ship, to pick everybody up and say, I'm here. He gonna follow his own law. He gonna appear as nothing. Then the people gonna say, did Nazareth produce that? Don't let good come out of Nazareth, out of the nation of Islam. Don't let but confusion come out of there. Look at the ministry, look at his people. A mass of uncompleted ideas. Non-submission. No, sir. The truth don't produce that.
The truth don't produce that. And it won't prophesy that that's to happen. We're going to get into the prophecy in our next fruit class. We're going to get into the prophecy. This class is to develop how Allah did it. Now, then he comes and Brother Derek get the rest of the atoms rotating like Brother Charles. A few more brothers that's here. He got Brother Minister there, got that atom rotating, kicked him out the house, sent him out there to Kansas City. He had the whole Kansas City on fire. There's a mosque out there. Then he bring in his atom. Come on in, my son. Come on back in. And he bring his atom back in and finish and polish it back up. Or finish the work on. He always start from one. Go to Connecticut, one family. One. Go to Kansas City, one family. One. He always start from one. Come to Maryland, D.C., one family. One. So then, all the atoms start rotating and everything, Father. Now, Father, what we was being taught before we even met Father, is the language. Father was teaching us about the language. Language means lays with you. It means lays with you. Which lays with you. Break the math rules. Language means that which lays with you. Now, it's still the same. Yeah, please that. Now, I just had a thought, and I was checking. Isn't Brother Charles missing something?
Oh,
Yeah. Is he missing something? Is he missing something? No, he's not here. But I'm saying, is he missing anything? Are you learning anything? Are you learning anything?
I'm learning something, yes, sir.
Brother Charles is still our brother. You all should talk to Brother Charles and let him know. Brother, you missing something. It ain't me. I didn't originate this thought. I didn't originate this teaching. I didn't even ask to be in this class. I was put here. Just like y'all. I was put in. I was put here. Let Brother Charles know, man. You're the one, Brother Charles, that was in this class talking about, oh, he's not a Bible person. You was the one that said that. You remind him. Brother Shopping Brother. Call him up. Call his hind parts up. Let him know, brother, you missing. It ain't about Brother James. It's about what Allah wants us to learn, man. If you don't like Brother James, the hell with that. We're not to see the person. You said it yourself. Let his hind parts know he need to be back in this class. Then, now language means that which language with you. Our entity, this mass of completed ideas, they have to have a form of expression. And one way that we express our ideas, the essence of us, we express it through the tongue, through language. So the language is very close to us, very close to our thinking. It lays with us. So you can learn a base language, which our base language, the majority of us is English. And we learn English first. English means last on the list. England, end of the land. It's the last language in which Allah recognizes, which He permitted to be expressed. And since this is not the first we can say is Arabic. And then Allah recognizes the brown man language and the young man's language. And then this last language, the end of the language, the end of the list is English. So since He adds in the beginning, He comes in the end speaking English. The last language, the bastard language before the new comes in. It's mathematical. Right? Now, because Allah is always quick thinking, fast moving, right down to modern time. When we say up to modern time, right up to modern time. Now, since we're speaking this English, if we learn any language that you learn, which is your base language, the language that you learn from a child, any language that you learn,
it lays with you. So you can learn, like we learn English, then you can learn Spanish, Portuguese, French, any other language. But if you got hit in the head and you got amnesia and you woke up, didn't remember your name, your mother, your wife, the place of your birth, where you live, you would still have your base language, that which lays with you. You would still be able to speak English. Is that right? Yes, everybody know about that? Right. It lays with you. But the rest of it you'll forget. So because it's so close to you, that's the first thing. Anybody writing that down? Official paper. Okay. That's in the lesson. Gotta put it down on the official paper. Now, language, since language means lays with you, since this expression of your thought is so close to your thought, it lays with you. So, guess what? The first thing that you need to clean up is your language. That which lays with you, that's very close to you. You got to clean up the way you express your thoughts. Not so much as saying damn or thus and so and thus and so. But the language is constructed in a way, especially the English language, is constructed in a way that's conducive to negative. So we say, brother minister, you look good today. You got on some ugly socks. So, but, the word but cancels out him looking good. It cancels it out. You look good today, but you got on some ugly socks. It cancels out him looking good because he got ugly socks on. You look good today, but you got on an ugly suit. Cancel out looking good. You look good today, but you got big pus bumps on you. Cancel out looking good. So, the language is designed in a way that's negative. So we learn how to, instead of saying but, when to use but, how to use but, or when to, or matter of fact, we can eliminate it and we don't use it. We learn how to say however and other things. We learn how to master our language in a way that we express positive instead of negative. It's the art to it. That's the first thing we learn. Ain't that right, Brother Derek? You know, other than the hell and hellfire and brimstone, Brother Derek was breaking on us. You know, this place gonna burn. 390 days, 360 years, 390. You know, Brother Derek was putting it on the board. You know, hey, get your survival kit. You will learn how to make bean pies. You ain't gonna be able to eat. You know, Brother Derek was putting it on us, boy. But the thing is, that's the first thing that we was taught, the language. To clean up what lays so close to us. You know, if it's filthy, your bedroom is filthy. Your blanket is filthy. The bed that you lay on is filthy. But if you put clean sheets on it, that filth won't touch it. You lay within a protection of cleanliness. Even that dirty blanket or the dirty bed, it won't get on because you're protected. That's how you got to do your language. You got to do it in a way, and that's one of the things that we learned in FY class. We're not going to go over that in this class. We're just going over the essence of it. We might touch on it, but we're not going to stay on it for a long time. So if it's mentioned in the class about language, you'll know. Somebody say, but. And then you say, oh, yeah. I didn't say that. And it won't conduce to positive. And then you change it. We won't have to say but. And then you go, what you mean but? And then we say, well, it means language. And then we go through a teaching, you see? Yes, that's what this class is for, to get the foundation. So when it's brought to your attention, you know, you can hit the ground and run with it. We're not to develop it in this class. It's going to take another long stretch. But we're going to develop it in the other class. We're going to go into the practical application or the motion of it. The motion of a life. Now, then after we were taught the language, we got 2 more minutes in the class. Then after we were taught the language, brother say 3. After we were taught the language, then we was taught concerning emotion. We was taught concerning proper diet, you know, the proper foods to eat. You know, we were taught let me get on emotion. Emotion is the energy that justifies motion, or that which justifies motion. If I went up to Brother Michael Rasul, he's a man and I'm a man. And I run up to him and I snatch the chair from underneath him for no justified reason at all, and he hit the floor. Boom! That's the motion. The motion is me snatching the chair from under him. His emotion would be anger. And he's justified for being angry, right? Yes. Is that right? Yes. But the emotion shows the motion to be right. What is emotion? Oh, let's just say that. That was justifies motion. Brother Kurt, he got a pretty nice sized family. You know, his wife is having a child. He's the father of the children. His wife is having a child, and his wife is having a child. That's the motion. The motion is his wife having a child. The emotion is his joy. The emotion is his wife having a child. That which is produced, that justifies, and justify means what? Anybody know what justify means? To show it to be right. When you can prove something, look for the right. If you can prove something, if you can show it to be right, you justify it. If you can, so the emotion is that which justifies right. It shows that yes, my wife is having a child. That's the motion, and the emotion is that which justifies motion. It shows, right there. We've been planning on this for a long time. And I finally have my son. I'm gonna name him. You see, it justifies the motion of his wife having a child. Emotion. You can't find me being taught nowhere. That's God now. The actual knowledge of who He is. You can't find it. You can't find it. And that you can't find it. You can find teachers on emotion, but it won't add up. We know fact plus fact plus fact, you gotta add up, right? Right. So you get people going all up into the crazy tangent of it. Oh, me reading the minister's book. He had a book on emotion. Father gave it to me. Let me hold it one time. I read like one page. I can't read this craziness. It's crazy. I mean, read it. It's like looking at Webster's. Go all into this technical this and this and this. And it wants so much emotion. So I can see how it's all mixed up. When you don't have the absolute, confusion is there. Right. The end result of it has to be confusion. And to say at the end of time that this particular confusion will be in heaven. Heaven is Islam. Even in heaven, there's going to be confusion everywhere. Even in heaven, Islam is confused. It don't have the absolute. Now, what I say, emotions, the food. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to close class. It's 9 o'clock. Can we continue? Okay. We're gonna close the class out. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, if anybody have to leave now, you can do so at this time. Appreciate it, y'all coming out. And also, before you leave, make sure you check with the secretary. He will tell you what must be done. Oh, I got a few announcements too. Concerning the building, us getting the building in there. Let me do that first before I continue. If anybody have to leave, but we continue with the class. Now we need a building, and we need motion. Okay. Make sure you get the tape now. We got the tape, and the brother's not going to keep the tape for no longer than 2 weeks. You missed the 2 weeks where you can give Brother Secretary Reggie a tape. He's not going to go no longer than that. What I leave motion? Motion. Yes, sir. Most energy is the most that which justifies motion, right? Right, energy is that which justifies motion. I mean, no, emotion is that just you can't break math in this class. Emotion is that which justifies motion. We already went over that. Now, then it was the diet. Certain foods like when you eat certain animals, or matter of fact, animals. Period. We're not to eat animals. Or flesh. And it produces a certain type of thinking, especially with the hormones and all the chemicals that are injected in the food, in the chickens that they mass produce, and the beef that they reproduce at a fast rate. These hormones are designed to make it grow at a rapid rate, but these actually change your thinking. If you notice any animals that actually eat meat, like lions, Lady Salam, sir, like lions, tigers, all those things that eat meat, they got a vicious mentality and behavior, that's produced from eating meat, and all animals that eat vegetation, like gorillas, elephants, yeah, they eat vegetation, they don't eat meat, and those type of animals, they don't produce that type of thinking. So we don't participate in that. So with the diet, that is very important. He was also taught emotions and how to control emotions, how to master your emotions, and that's very, very, very important. Because when your emotion comes up, you can't move out on emotion. You can't move out on it. You put your knowledge, have your knowledge, and get your knowledge to put your emotion in check. Just because you're angry, it don't justify you doing anything. You can be angry. You know, somebody, like I say, in the last days, you're gonna spit in your face, and they're just gonna dare you to make a move. And if you haven't controlled your emotions, you gone. If you emotional and they spit in your face, it's 20 of them and one of you, and they all got guns. You say, well, the hell, I'm gonna die like a man. No, sir. No, sir. You just be a dead man. It's simple as that. So you got to learn how to put your emotions in check. And it's a way to do that. And the way that you put your emotions in check is that you justify your emotions. Meaning that you show them to be right. That you calculate them. Everything that you do should be planned well in advance. Gather the fractions to produce the one. It's a law. So you just can't move out on emotion or anger or sadness if you shouldn't have sadness. That's a negative emotion. And moods, we was taught how to control moodiness. It's a sign of the devil. You come your spirit low, and when your spirit is low, we was taught how to generate your spirit back up and get it motivated. You listen to the tapes. You listen to Father's tapes. You listen to something that you read the messenger's literature. You look at something that will generate some spirit in you, the intensity in your thinking to give you the life back. That's how you do it, and you get rid of the mood. We was taught how to get rid of moods. All this we was taught. But on the outside, it looked like we was learning nothing. On the outside, it looked like we was learning nothing. Because that's the law. And to our brother Charles, it still looked like we ain't learning nothing. He got all this knowledge from the Quran and all this what he think from the Bible. But it's not the way, he haven't learned how to think the way that Allah designed him to think, which is mathematics. So what he have in his mind, he still is making errors in his judgment. How can you come up with an absolute answer and you haven't learned how to think mathematics? So how can we rely on what he has to share with us until he thinks mathematics? Sir.
I just wanted to make a statement.
Yes, sir.
Based on what you were just saying.
Yes, sir.
About emotion.
Yes, sir.
And what I saw was that it was emotion that made him believe.
Yes.
He wasn't dealing with facts.
Right.
He never accepted.
Right.
His pride.
Right.
His emotion.
Right.
And the sickness. And that's what got in between him and the truth. And he submitted to that.
Right.
And the law is also, and you said that too. The law is, the devil gotta go.
That's right.
And the Satan got up and made him. That wasn't Brother Charles.
That's right.
That was Satan.
That's right.
He had to go.
Their reaction against positive.
And he had to go.
He had to go. Let me share with you something. And this is not Brother Charles. The only reason I'm mentioning Brother Charles' name, the only reason, is because it's Brother Charles that did it. But let's exclude Brother Charles. It's a living live example that we just had. Exclude him, the person. And let's just look at the idea. He said it. Let's just look at the idea of what he did, not Charles. I don't care who he is. He could have been anybody. Let's exclude that. The brother made a mention about proudness. The brother is proud. Can you justify that, Brother James? Yes, sir. Proudness is a sickness. It means to be pleased with yourself unjustifiably so. Another way of saying it is, you see yourself as here. But the truth says that you are here. And if you really want to be here where you think that you are in your mind, then there are certain steps that you have to take that's going to bring you to the point in which you see yourself, to the reality of things. Am I saying it too confusing?
It's very plain, but
now, in order for Charles to be the person that he really wants to be, the one that's close to Allah, the one that already have mathematical thinking. Haven't he said that before, Brother Henry? Be pleased with yourself unjustifiably so. He can't justify that to say he have mathematical thinking. You know, the statement is, I've been in Islam since 83. And I went to Bible school, and I learned the Bible, and I learned the Quran, and You know, I can quote the prayers and no sir. And the way that you get over this proudness is submission to truth. If the truth says that you are here, you don't know mathematical thinking. You don't understand the method in which Allah thinks. You have to go back to zero, brother, in your mind. You have to start all over again. You got to die. You want to get to heaven? Die in your thinking. You got to be born again. You got to die to that stupid ass mentality that you have. You do not know the way that Allah thinks. Then he look at that and he said, well, damn, really I'm here. But I used to see myself as here. I submit. The truth is saying that I'm here. Now, what do I have to do to get to the point here where I really want to be? How do I get to the point where I'm here that I can be close to Allah? The way that I do that is the way that Allah designed it to happen. I have to go to his FY class. That's the only means that he got set up to learn mathematical thinking. I can't talk to other people and run them away from the class and have them thinking the wrong thoughts concerning the FOI class and have them thinking that my knowledge is more superior than it's being taught. I'm going against the very idea in which Allah designed this class to operate. He designed that class to teach mathematical thinking. And I'm telling everybody that I got it. They don't have it. They don't know it. Is that right, Brother Henry? And we have people that was in our FOI class that are still not with us because of him. Running people away from Allah's class. They don't know. We all ignorant. That's a sin. That's a sin. Then he had the opportunity to learn from. Now, I ain't talking about Brother Charles. I'm talking about the idea. You see, that's all breaking math. It's not factual. It is not factual. It's not in harmony with the way that Allah thinks. If he knew the law, in the beginning there was nothing, and what made it nothing, it had no direction, no purpose. Wait a minute. Now I know when Allah first comes, and now he got this class going, it's going to seem like nothing. I got to go back to nothing in my thinking. I can't go like I have something. Like I got the Quran. I got the knowledge of the Bible, the Injil. I can't go with something. I have to go like a babe. Because that's his law. And that's where I learned. I can't come with any preconceived ideas in my mind. Because that's the old world. And the messenger said this man was going to come with a new way of thinking. It's not going to be the same as the old world. The old world is going to be erased. The old world is Prophet Muhammad 1400 years ago. The Bible that was taught to me by this Caucasian, this grafted down. I can't take that in Allah's class, thinking I got something. Putting his method of which he's going to teach our people in a way to cause other people not to come, to put it down. I can be held responsible for that. You see, it ain't about no person. It ain't about no person. So people take a long time to come to FOI class when they couldn't deal with us in the beginning because of him. We got two forces, Allah and Satan. Positive, negative. God and Satan. Positive is emotion. The reaction is called negative. And the reaction always try to bring the positive or the class back to nothing. It's simple as that. Now, it's our brother. I better talk to him. Now, what was we at? Emotion? We had emotion. I like my however, still in the conversation. Was I talking loud? Did I tone it down? Okay, okay. Yes, sir. Y'all let me know if I get too loud, because evidently I'm not not catching this. Now, I'm dying. Okay. Yes, sir. Okay, they died. Now we went over to die, putting the emotions in check. Now all this, when we when we merge back with the fruit class, all this we gonna know. We got the foundation for it. So when it's brought up in the fruit class, we can see, we can follow it. You see, we don't have to stop. Now, what did they say? Because we got the foundation for it. Now, then after we was taught about emotions, the diet, and everything, we was given certain literature on the time, along with Brother Derek and Mother conducting the classes. What was the classes? Understanding the time or understanding the time. We was taught the time. We was taught, and the way that we were taught the time was factually or mathematically, based on the prophecy. In other words, you can go through the prophecy, and the prophecy bear witness to the time, right? So we was taught who was which character. We was taught that Nathan the prophet was coming, who was Abbas Rasul. We was taught that Zadok the priest was coming. We was taught that Benaiah is coming. Benaiah. We was taught all these different people was coming before they even came. And then we was shown the mathematics of why they're coming based on the scriptures, right? So we was taught the idea first before we even saw a person. Now we know the character of Benaiah is thus and so, and the character of Nathan the prophet is thus and so, and the character of Joab is thus and so. The character of Solomon is thus and so. The character of David is thus and so. So we looked at the ideas behind these characters. And then we saw the idea, and we can associate it with people that are living today, or how this has actually been lived out. You see? Now let me show you the trick that the minister is doing. The minister is saying things like, or putting things out in this way. Well, I've learned from the scriptures. I've learned from Joshua. I've learned from Moses. All the different mistakes that they've made in the past. Like he's the fullness of that. Now that he's learned from that, then he has mastered that. And he's the fullness of that. That hasn't been written. That hasn't been written. What was written was that there was a person called Moses. And Moses took the people in the wilderness for 40 years. That's the character called Moses. And then Moses had a speech impediment. And he couldn't articulate well to the people. And he called on his brother Aaron. Moses is the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Aaron is Minister Farrakhan. This is a prophecy which was predicted to happen, predicted to take place. Not nobody come and then look at the book as though it's history and then say, well, I've learned from their mistakes. I've learned how to weed their mistakes out. And now I'm that. Oh, thank you. I'm that and much, much more. I'm the messenger of that and much, much more. No, sir. We was taught that Abraham had a seed in a strange land and afflicted by a stranger, this Caucasian, for 400 years. It ain't a people on the planet that been in a strange land, that been in slavery, enslaved by a stranger, this Caucasian, who's a 6,000-year-old stranger. That's only been here on the planet for 6,000 years. They've been afflicted by a stranger in a strange land for 400 years. Well, who in the hell is Abraham's seed if it's not us? Who is it? It ain't no history that you can produce. Nowhere. Peoples, no history that you can produce that people been in slavery or bondage for 400 years. No. Other than the black man here in North America. This prophecy was to take place. We're going to get into that when we get into the scriptures. See, but this is what I want you to keep in mind, though. This is some saying. Because fact number one, it ain't no history that you can produce that shows that there's another people in another land that was afflicted by a stranger for 400 years. People say, yeah, we was in slavery. They had slaves in Africa. They had slaves in... There ain't no strange land. And they came from Africa. You can't say, well, the Jews, they was in Egypt for 400 years. You can't produce no history that say them Jews was in bondage in Egypt. It ain't no history on this planet that support that. None. And then you read later on in the Bible in John, the Jews say, we have never been enslaved to any man. Is that right, Brother Dennis? Right. In one part of the book, you have that you've been enslaved. And another part, you write the real history to say, we've never been enslaved to any man. He was talking to Jesus. Jews ain't never been enslaved to nobody.
They caught hell under Hitler, but they were enslaved. And definitely not for no 400 years. That's right. These are facts. So we know that this book is a book of prophecy. And we're going to go through the prophecy and show mathematically, we're going to be able to prove, show that it's right. We're going to look for the right, which means that which can be proven, which is fact. That Solomon is the one. We're going to be able to prove. And when we come to the conclusion, man, this is the man. This is the one. But how the ministry is doing so good. He's now, what can I just say? He's the dear holy apostle. He's the Christ. Where is that written? It was written that Moses came down from the mountain, grabbed Aaron by the beard, saying, why in the hell did you go off of my teachings? Why in the hell did you take my people, try to take them back to Egypt, build that gold, make that golden calf? And then the Holy Quran reads, well, he said, oh, son of my mother, I didn't do it, so Mary did it. Who's Wallace? So Mary took the dust from the footprints of your teachings, Moses or Elijah. He the one that fashioned the golden calf. I was afraid for what the people was going to do to me, Elijah, who's here now with Solomon. So I said, okay, Samiri, wise. Your punishment will be touching me now. You can get into that when we get into the scripture. But these is facts. We can show the facts that the nation of Islam has proven, has actual, the facts say that this is the one that is spoken of in scripture, and you can't deny it. It ain't no man that taught for 40 years. We know the black man, the 400 years, the seed of Abraham is the black man. Ain't nobody take us in no wilderness for them 40 years. Who was that if it weren't Moses or the messenger? They taught him for 40 years, 44 years. Had us in the wilderness of no man. That's Moses, that's the messenger. But these are ideas. If you take the names out, that's right. I'm getting excited. When you take the names out, and you just read the characters, you'll see ideas and principles that are being expressed. Now, you taught it in for class to look for the God things, to look for the right, which can be proven, the unseen, the idea. And the idea always bear witness in the physical, right? Who was this man called David that built the nation, that had a son called Solomon? If it weren't the messenger that built the nation, there had to be David. Who was Adonijah, Minister Farrakhan, that stood up and declared himself to be king? I'm going to rebuild the nation. I'm going to start the trucking industry. I'm going to buy a truck that costs $120,000 with no factories, no farmlands. I'm going to do this, and we have 10 more on the way. I'm going to have a 3-year economic plan. I'm that, and I'm much, much more. I'm Minister Farrakhan. That is not written. An Adonijah stood up and declared himself to be king. But the one, as it reads on 308, message to the black man, the one to be king had yet to be known. That was Solomon, the son of David, the spiritual son of this man called Elijah Muhammad. Now, God is man. We can get into proving that. How God is man. God is man. Now, who's this Solomon that got more wisdom than anyone before him or after him? If God is man, who in the world can this Solomon be? God is man. It got to be Allah. Solomon is another name for Allah. It means alone. And you can't be alone. The only one that's alone is, or there can be alone. You always got to have truth with you. You can't separate yourself from this force in which Allah still created himself. You can't separate yourself from truth. You can never come alone. You can never be independent from truth. And Allah is the truth. He's the only independent one. The I in Islam. Right. Go ahead. Brother say we got nation builders too. And we can't be alone. Yeah, positive and negative. See, these are facts. And it ain't emotion. I don't give a damn what nobody says.
Minister Farrakhan is holding on to the altar. He's going to send word back to Solomon. Solomon, I'll turn it over to you if you don't take my life with the sword. Don't tell my people what you told them in Connecticut concerning me. That I've been knowing about you for such a long, long time. That I've denied them what they've been looking for. That the messenger said, after me comes God himself. And I know that you're God. And I didn't tell the people. Don't kill them with the truth that's going to come from your mouth. Don't tell them. Don't kill them. Protect me. Because when these young, hard-headed, rebellious, the ones that love me because of their emotions, and I haven't given them a damn thing. But talk. And an opportunity to sell paints. And I stopped you, Solomon, from building the house of the Lord. Go ahead. They're going to kill me. Stop them from coming. Don't protect me. You see what I say? You see what the truth say. This ain't got nothing to do with no person. He got them following people, a person. And I ain't talking about Minister Farrakhan. I'm talking about Adonai. I'm talking about the idea that's behind these characters that's being lived out in a person. Hey, I can go for it. But that's what this class is about. So then Father taught us that. He showed us the scriptures and the time. Now, did you see how I still kept mathematics in it? I showed you the fact plus the fact plus the fact equal an absolute answer. But if you got Minister Farrakhan is the man, look what he's done. He's no sir. No sir. The fact plus the fact plus the fact equal an absolute answer. Damn it. And the fact is that these are scriptures and scrolls that are out of a portion out of our 25,000 year history. And it was a prophecy that was to take place. And I used to come, I remember, I was talking about this Kundalini and just raising this energy and these chakras and, and Melchizedek and all. Wasn't I crazy about that? I was super crazy. I was going to this meditation and hit this altered state of consciousness, and I was getting into the list of knowing all things. But guess what? I met one man, Brother Solomon, and he taught me mathematical thinking. Islam is mathematics, and mathematics is Islam. And it can be proven in no limit of time. Meaning, no limit of time is how long does it take for you to understand? It's the truth. But how long would it take it to be proven to you? How long would it take you to understand it? It can be proven in no limit of time. So when I heard, I accepted it up right away. Another brother I know, he still rejected. He's still waiting for it to be proven in his mind that his thinking is not, this ain't worthy of his thinking. It should be the way he thinks it should be. He's still waiting in no limit of time for it to be proven to him. Islam is mathematics. Mathematics is Islam. And I'm doing that for a reason. It ain't about no people. These are ideas. Once you separate yourself from the person, you see the idea. That's what it is. If everybody say, brother, if I walk in this class, right, and I don't know anybody here, say, I'm looking for a person. This person is got a mild tendency of being proud. And every time he get a post, he get real